Hello, my name is Dr. Jack Babinchak, the Dean of the School of Business.
And my name is Dr. Matthew Viklas, the Dean of the School of Professional Studies.
This instructional video is designed to explain some of the frequently asked questions surrounding the faculty mentorship of your Capstone project. The Capstone mentor is an individual who has content knowledge in your specific area of study. Their role is to make sure that your particular project has merit and relevance in your chosen field of study.
After you've selected the topic for your project, you kind of want to think back to either classes you've taken or relevant work experiences that you've already had, and try to identify a person, perhaps a faculty member, perhaps a former supervisor, who has some expertise in the area of the topic you've selected. And once you identify that person, then you can start to conduct some outreach, either through email or perhaps making a phone call, or if it does happen to be a faculty member, stop by their office.
Your advisor, by default, is not your mentor. It doesn't mean that your advisor cannot act as your mentor for your Capstone project, but your advisor is not assigned to you as a mentor initially when you start your project. A good area to use your advisor is if you're having trouble finding a Capstone mentor, you can certainly reach out to your advisor and they can provide you guidance as to what your next step could be.
The instructor that has been assigned to facilitate your section of the capstone will not automatically select your mentor for you. So once you've identified a topic, it will be your responsibility to find a mentor.
The role of the Capstone mentor is relatively small when you consider the scope of the overall project. Their role is really to ensure that your information is accurate and that your information is relevant. And there are touch-base moments throughout your Capstone project where you could make contact with your mentor to make sure that you're on the right track. Also, in the beginning of your project, your mentor can help you refine your project or your thesis statement to get more in line with maybe what program requirements might be.
Later on in this video, we'll have more to say about the specific role of the instructor versus the role of the mentor. But in answer to the question of can your instructor be your mentor, the answer to that is no, because the mentor really needs to be a content expert who can offer some generalized insights into the content-specific material that you're working with. Your instructor has a different role. Your Capstone instructor is an accredited professor who has general expertise in terms of academic writing projects in general. What they may not have is discipline-specific content knowledge. So the role of your instructor really is to guide you through and offer feedback on the writing of the project, the conducting of the research, the putting together of the portfolio. The instructor will be responsible for assessing that material, for providing you with grades, and for answering any really specific detailed questions that come up as you're drafting, researching, revising, and otherwise developing the project. The mentor is really responsible for just giving a kind of God's eye or overview stamp of approval on the whole project. And ideally, you aren't going to be making a lot of contact with your mentor. You may exchange a few emails. Over the course of 11 weeks, you may have some brief phone conversations, but really your primary point of contact is going to be the course Capstone instructor.
If you've been taking classes online and you're not too familiar with your instructors or maybe their credentialing, this is a good time to reach out to the chairperson of your program or even the dean of your program, and they can point you in the right direction. The key to this process is reaching out as early as possible so you don't fall behind on your project.
If your mentor has any questions at any point in the process, remember that you do have the instructor, you have the chairperson or the dean of the school, all of whom are happy to answer and clarify any matters that arise.
Your capstone mentor doesn't necessarily need to be an instructor in your program or field of study, but that person does need to have that content-specific knowledge in order to work effectively as your mentor. So the answer to this question is yes, you can look outside your program of study, but the individual that you choose needs to have that content-specific knowledge.